Welcome back, everyone. It's great to see you all again, and thank you for tuning in. Today I got a cool story on my custom Simon & Patrick. So one Christmas day, it was a total surprise, and long story short, everyone was looking for me. I went for a long walk, just after eating all that food, you gotta stretch it out a bit, and everyone was looking for me. They couldn't find me, so my phone started ringing. They're like, "Hey, come on back. We're opening the presents. We're waiting for you." So I walked on back and walked in the house, and everyone was kind of gathered in a line, but the line was like leaving a pathway to the basement door. And I was like, "Oh, what's everyone doing?" Right? So I walk up to where the basement door is, like where the stairs go down, and my uncle's coming up the stairs with a gig bag. And I was like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "What?" I don't even think I said anything. I was just morally in shock. I'm like, I see a guitar case, and I'm like, "That's cool," They're like, "Here, open it up." And we all went in the living room, and I pulled it out, and I got this baby. This has been through me thick and thin. There's some not good stories on this guitar, which I'm going to get into right now. And yeah, so let's get into it. So I love this guitar. This was my first guitar that I used on my first video on my YouTube channel. If you go all the way back, probably all the way down, all the way down on the page, you'll see me doing a Johnny Cash cover. It's called "I Heard That Lonesome Whistle Blow." I was really young, and this guitar was brand new. And that was the start of the relationship with this guitar. I just love the sound of it. It's a very reactive guitar. And with the pickguards, which I will get into more later, it did dampen the sound, but we did do some things to it to make it more articulate better. So, being young and dumb, I really wanted a Martin, and I didn't have the money. I had a job, but it wasn't paying a lot, so my bright idea at the time was to trade this in, and which I highly regretted. And I did it anyway. So I traded the guitar in, and immediately after I felt really bad because this was a gift given to me and I got rid of it. Every day I thought about the guitar, but I was enjoying the new guitar I got at the time too, so I was like, it's the idea was there, and I just upgraded the guitar. That was kind of my idea, or my thinking of the time. Fast forward, a couple years go by, and I could never get this guitar out of my mind. This guitar was always in my head, and I felt bad that I got rid of it because it was a gift. And I said, just for whatever, I decided to go back to that store. I think it was 3 years that it stood in the shop. No one bought it. And I think it was a blessing in disguise. And I want to give a shout out this was at Music 21, and I want to shout out to Kent. He's a really awesome guy, and I explained what happened, and he pretty much sold me back the guitar for the trade value that he gave me. So that, which is beyond thankful. If you guys are ever in Bolton, Ontario, check out Music 21, great music shop. I go there all the time. Awesome guitars, and Kent's a really good guy. So thank you, Kent. Thank you for reuniting me with this amazing guitar. And I knew it was mine too because there's a special marking. I'll do a close-up. You guys won't be able to pick it up from that distance, but there's a marking right here that I did when I first got it, and I remember that mark, and I remember I'll know if it's mine because of that mark. And I knew this was the guitar, and I'm so happy that I got it back. So I'm a really big Johnny Cash fan and a really big Elvis fan. I love how those guys leathered up their guitars. I have a leather Telecaster, and I always thought the leather on the acoustic looked really cool, and I always wanted one, right? I came up with the idea because I knew from Elvis's guitar, the full leather body cover, it looked cool, don't get me wrong. It was a great prop for Elvis, right? But the sound, it just destroyed the sound of that Martin, and it didn't really do any justice to it. And I get it, Elvis wasn't really known for playing guitar. I didn't want to get something that would just totally dampen the sound of the guitar, because this guitar without the leather, the top just pushed, like it's such a lively sounding guitar. So I asked a good friend of mine, Grady Brown, if he would do up some leather pickguards for me, and I kind of explained what I wanted. I told him I wanted a double pickguard. I always loved that look of that. Billy Strings Martin with the double pickguard looked really cool too. That was also an inspiration. So I'm like, I want that, but in leather. So he put CMR for my artist name, CMR Outlaw, with a Canadian maple leaf. And then on the top, he did Rest in Peace Bella for my dog that passed away very, very young. And I just wanted to tribute her because I still love her and I think about her every day. And I named this guitar Bella after her. And yeah, so he also did me up this beautiful strap that goes along with the guitar. And if I can I'll do a close-up of it on a separate close-up video. It's got my initials and a beautiful gem on the end strap. So Grady did the leathering, and then I put contact cement to make the pickguard stick to the top of the wood. And the one thing I noticed immediately after it was all set and dry was the tone was very dampened. The guitar was not lively anymore. Which kind of sucked because, you know, this guitar sounded so good the way it was. And yes, I had thought about taking the pickguards off, but I always think it looks so cool. Some people says it looks like lungs, and I get it. You know, it looks like two pairs of lungs. But to me, I think it's cool and it's unique. It matches the headstock, you know. It's got the whole vibe going, matches the fretboard. I really like it. So I already upgraded the normal pins to spruce pins, which kind of made it a bit brighter. Let's talk about what I did to make the guitar sound better. So it wasn't until I think it was a couple months ago actually, or a month ago, I decided, you know what, I love this guitar. It's been with me forever. I'm just going to invest the money to make it play and sound amazing. It needed a setup. It hasn't been set up in years. So what I did was I took it down to Solo Music in Woodbridge, Ontario. And my good friend Pat, he did an amazing setup on this. I told him I'm not really much of I'm not a bluegrass picker. I just want that like Hank Williams, like nice strumming and just singing along type. You know, I'm just going to be singing and playing chords. So we looked up the info for Hank's setup, and Hank used really heavy strings. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's what we found. He used really heavy strings, and he was just strumming away. You know, I love that. Hank's tone is my favorite acoustic tone. And I know this doesn't sound like his tone, obviously, and probably nowhere close to it, but I just wanted that kind of setup. So I decided that, because it had a tusk nut and a tusk saddle, so what we did was we replaced it and we put bone, because it would be more brighter, and we used 14 gauge strings. So the idea was, because these pickguards are dampening the sound, that the heavier strings will push the top more, and the bone nut and saddle will give it a bit more brightness. So the strings will make it push, and it'll give it more of a brighter EQ with those two upgrades. Gave it a little bit of a higher action. Sometimes it can sound a little bit out of tune if you're not really pressing it. So I haven't played this guitar a lot yet. I've been playing my Ovation, but I'm gonna get used to playing the heavy strings. But it's really good because even if you put it back here, it's really loud, right? I just absolutely love the sound. It's one of my favorite and one of my main acoustic besides the Ovation. And the tuners on these, the Simon & Patrick tuners, are actually fantastic. And the pickup system is the B-band, I think it's called the A3T. I don't know if that's part of the Simon & Patrick model, but yeah, Godin really hit it out of the park with these guitars. I think they're highly underrated, and a lot of people should be looking into these more because it's all solid wood. And at the time, Uncle and Aunt got me this for Christmas, and they told me, because I asked them, and they said at the time, I think this was about $650 or $700 new. And if you compare that with the Martin X series, you know, you're getting all solid wood. This is all solid mahogany. It's an absolute, sorry, I'm gonna try to fix the lighting here. It's an absolutely beautiful guitar. All solid wood. I've kept it humidified. The top is aging nicely. All solid spruce. I just think these are best bang for your buck, really, and the seagulls are nice too. I'm not a big fan of the seagull neck profile. I'm more of the Simon & Patrick neck profile. Pat also installed a strap button. You got to be careful installing these, as he mentioned to me. There's something about a bolt being in here, so you have to know exactly where to put it, or else you can hit that steel bolt, because these are bolt-in necks. And yeah, so that's the story of my Simon & Patrick. It's a really beautiful guitar. I really love it. And yeah, I'm so happy that I have it back. I got it back. And it's going to remain me till the day I die. And hopefully you'll stay in the family. And yeah, I would like to thank everyone for stopping by. All the support I've been getting recently has really been amazing and inspires me to keep going. I will try my best to keep uploading videos, and if you guys got any recommendations, or even if you guys want to hear any covers, let me know. Leave a comment in the comments section. And thank you guys once again for stopping by. Have a great day, folks. Cheers.